Soporifics. And now, it's him.
Well, good evening, America. You look beautiful in this light. Have a nice hand for Andy Summers in the South.
Thank you.
Our announcer, Nick Mackay. Nick,
Hello,
how are you
Dennis.
today? What's happening, my friend?
I got some very good news today.
What's that?
They cast me in Love Letters. I'll be appearing next week.
Who are you opposite?
TV's rifleman Chuck Connors.
Should be a bang-up effort. You know, Johnny Crawford, rifleman's
Yeah.
son, used to date Victoria Jackson. How's that for a Wrigley's fun fact, huh? Well, let's get to the news. The world is falling apart in front of our eyes. Japan has launched a satellite today which will circle the Earth and electronically beam insults down at the United States. We're all linked up. Mike Tyson. Tough story, huh? Found guilty of rape. Looks like he's going to serve some hard time. I don't know what... Yeah, huh? Beautiful hands across the water, human spirit. The forgiving nature. Yeah, I don't know what's worse punishment, doing jail time or knowing that on the outside Don King's handling your money. Tyson faces 60 years in prison. 60 years. But that's a piece of cake next to 18 months with Robin Givens' mother. That'll go by like that. It's going to be tough for him in there. You get the feeling he's going to be changing his name from Iron Mike to Ironing Mike. He might be the champ out here. You get on the other side of that wall, though, they're going to have him wearing a Mouseketeer hat. And Manuel Noriega's trial continues in Miami. Noriega now says he was actually fighting the war on drugs. Yank, yank, huh? And I guess the thinking here is that by doing a couple pounds of blow a day, he was keeping it out of innocent people's hands. Can't believe, man, he's trying to sell that bill of goods to us. A new poll shows that President Bush is preferred 2-1 over Pat Buchanan by patients who chew gum. And... former Massachusetts Senator Paul Tsongas is overtaking Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton on the Democratic side, according to a Boston Globe poll of bleach blonde ex-nightclub floozies. 4 or 5% error there. I can't believe Tsongas is taking the lead. You know, Tsongas makes Dukakis look like Errol Flynn, for God's sake. See, Tom Harkin yesterday in the Iowa caucuses, he took 78% of the vote, but he was uncontested. Well, you know you're a loser when there's nobody running against you and that guy gets 22%. And finally, there was a flood in Los Angeles yesterday, and it's already been signed to a 3-picture deal with Paramount. You know, it rained so hard it caused facelift slides in the Beverly Hills area. Actually, we got 6 inches of rain overnight, although men claimed it was more like 8 inches and women said it was 4 inches tops. We've got a interesting, eclectic show for you tonight. Actor Peter Weller. Actress Jennifer Tilly. And we've got one of the preeminent photojournalists of our time, Mary Ellen Marco, Andy.
Show is brought to you by Always, the Maxi with Dry Weave. Gives you a clean, dry feeling.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. The Winter Olympics. Anybody been watching it? Yeah. Boy, we get our ass kicked in that thing, huh? We just are not snow people. The Winter Olympics kicked off Saturday, and it is, of course, the topic for tonight's For and Against. The case for the Winter Olympics, you get a free trip to the French Alps. The case against, there are French people there. Case for, Albertville is a quaint little town. Against, so is Pixley. Pixley. For, you get to see the future stars of the Ice Capades. Against, if things like that excite you, I have a Dean Jones bootleg tape you might be interested in. You can see the entire Winter Games from your living room. Against, you sit too close to the TV and go snowblind. Case for, it's nice to watch hockey without all the violence. Against, the Iranian team takes your goalie hostage. Case for, past Olympians give their expert commentary. Against, bitter bronze medalists criticize every nuance of their sport. Give myself a 5.8 on that reading. 2-point deduction for stumbling on the word criticize. The case for, each country can sponsor only one team. Against, Coca-Cola sponsors 154 teams. The case for, you find downhill racing exciting. The case against, you're troubled when you find the two-man luge even more exciting. And finally, the case for the Winter Olympics, you can tape what you miss on your VCR. Against, you tape over your Sperminator video. I think the Sperminator is an actual film. Did you ever see they always have films out and then they just do that little twist for the porn version, like Gone with a Wind Job or something, you know? Yeah. All right, my first guest starred in The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai and Shoot the Moon, but he's known probably best for his role as the cyborg with a heart in RoboCop 1 and 2. Here's the star of Naked Lunch, Peter Weller. Peter. How are you, Pete?
Good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good.
The Foo?
The Foo?
For a part, or just feeling?
No, it's for a gig. It's called Sunset Grill. New line. Started in about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, Naked Lunch, man. That must have been a thrill for you, somebody of your era, to...
Yeah. It was a gas, you know. I don't know if you're familiar with the... Yeah. The book was a big breakthrough, you know, in the history of literature in this country and around the world. You know, he broke the form of the novel, and he was writing about addiction, and he was writing about power and strange things before his time. And it's kind of like a social Bible to me, that book. And when I heard they were going to make a movie out of it, coincidentally, I was on the set of RoboCop 2, and I heard they were going to make a movie about it. I wrote him a letter and said I want to be in it.
You wrote Burroughs or Cronenberg?
Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then...
Can I move this?
Yeah, sure. Oh, not there. Okay. We got it. No, geez. See, now there's a polite one. We got to get this chair together. This chair is like one of those props on a Naked Lunch.
Mort was out here the other night, you know, and he just kind of swung it this way.
Yeah. I don't know what... We got to pull this whole thing together, though. I get the feeling it's very much like a visit to the gynecologist or something, you know? Everybody's always kind of... Time for me to get serious about a man's film when he's in stirrups. Now, Cronenberg and Burroughs together. Now, there's a wacky creative duo there. Was Burroughs on the set much? Or, of course, by Burroughs we mean Edgar Rice Burroughs, the author of Tarzan, the Eggman. Or no,
he was swinging around the set a lot, you know.
Who's more out there, Burroughs or Cronenberg?
Cronenberg's really a stay-at-home kind of Toronto middle-class races his cars and, you know, talks to his wife and kids kind of guy. Burroughs, on the other hand, is from Mars. But he's one of the drollest, funniest, most interesting human beings I've ever met. He's 80 years old, and you know, he's the granddaddy of substance abuse, and he's survived all of it. Survived everybody else, and everybody else is dead or gone to jail, and this guy's still kicking, man. This is, you know.
How is, it's funny when you meet some of these people who have spent all these years abusing themselves in their mind, they often seem
More
like,
lucid than us.
Yeah, it's weird. I met Timothy Leary one night at a party, and I remember thinking, I go to like 5 parties a year, so don't think I was at some freak out with Peter Fonda, you know, dropping mescaline and running around naked under a shower. But anyway, I did meet, you know, and it was weird. At the beginning, I was all prepared to dislike him, because I just thought he was so whacked, and I think he might have led some people down the road and they got hurt.
Yeah.
But he was such a charming guy. It was kind of weird. Was it like that when you met Burroughs?
Yeah, he's a real middle-class cat. You know, he went to Harvard and he went to prep school, and I think he's a guy, actually, admittedly, that always, as much as he's a part of the counterculture, he always wanted to belong. He always felt himself an outsider, not by choice, but by measure. So.
Well, his whole life was pretty much decided by the incident with his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys know what happened there? Tell us, Uncle Denny. Well, you tell, Pete.
Yeah, he accidentally killed his wife, and and it was sad. You know, it was an event that he, you know, probably will never get over, and it subsequently made him a writer.
But it was the weirdest circumstances,
Yeah.
wasn't it? They were playing William Tell.
Yeah.
And they used to get drunk and put apples on each other's heads and try to...
Actually, they'd never done it before. He said at that party, I guess it's about time for our William Tell routine. And she said, sure, Bill, put a glass on her head, and he tried to shoot it off and killed her.
Wow, it's bad for a relationship. And from then on, it's just been it's marked his whole life, obviously.
Yeah, it has. You know, and something, not that I have to say anything in his defense, but something that's really a gift of his is that his entire experience with abuse, with substance abuse, has really been turned into a statement of social reformation and consciousness and great satire and hypocrisies of the way the planet works. He's really turned it into something magnificent, sad as it is.
Right. So okay. Well, so I guess something coming from such an odd happening as that has led to an artistic life in some perverse way. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That something like that dark would lead him to this?
Listen, you know, you brought up, can I bring up the Olympics?
We can right after this. We got to take a commercial. We'll be right back. We're going to talk Olympics through Burroughs with Peter Weller. We'll be right back. Andy, well, and now you wanted to talk about the Winter Olympics for a second?
You know, you brought up the Olympics, and I saw your special the other night, the black and white special you did on HBO.
Right.
Just coincidentally, it was on about 2 nights ago, and I just wanted to ask you speaking of the Olympics, you had a metaphor in there, hands on the bobsled. Remember this line?
Oh, right. It was,
what does that refer to?
It's going to be tough to bring up on regular TV. Well,
you get that image, hands on the bobsled? It kind of escapes me, but...
It was a sexual reference where men like to be in control sexually. They like to have...
I get it now.
Jeez. Boy, you led me into a box canyon there. It's a good joke, but you should see it on cable. Kids, don't try stuff like this at home. Now, did Burroughs help you, back to that for a second, did Burroughs help you with your characterization, or is he, was he that hands-on, or was he kind of aloof to the project?
No, he was so excited that it was finally going to be made. I've been trying to make it for so long, and he was really accessible to me. I spent a bunch of nights with him having dinner before I made it. Coincidentally, we met through a guy named Earl McGrath, who owns an art gallery here, as a friend of Burroughs, and I just grabbed things from him more or less by osmosis because the part is not autobiographical, although it takes from his life. It's more or less his alter ego. So I didn't want to do this Burroughsian sort of number, but at the same time, there's things about his... he's acerbic, and he's so droll, and he's so incisive, you know, and I was taking things like that from him. And I was writing him a lot, and then he finally showed up on the set, and we hung out and had some laughs, and I just spent a couple days with him in Kansas.
Boy, I love the word Burroughsian.
Yeah, that's kind of my...
I hadn't heard that one. Cool word, huh? I'm going to have to throw that around somewhere. Well, we have a Burroughsific clip here, and any setup on this clip, or do you know what this is about? Setting up a clip from The Naked Lunch. There's a surreal experience.
My wife, played by this brilliant, maybe the most brilliant actor I've ever known, or actress, Judy Davis, is addicted to a substance. And I get busted for being in possession of this.
The bug powder.
Yeah, bug powder.
All right, this is from The Naked Lunch. Bug powder. Take one. Roll it.
You got quite a record, Bill. A lot of drugs poured down the old vein.
I was a troubled person then. I'm married now, straight. Got a good job.
That's good, Bill. It's nice. What's this then?
It's my job. I use it to kill bugs.
Says it kills bugs. He could be right. I'd like to see it. Me too. I'd like to see it too.
Well, gee. I'd like to demonstrate, but I already got rid of that last case of crabs I had.
I haven't seen that much bug powder since Scarface. This was the last time. Now, what's up, RoboCop 3? You took a pass on here?
I did in lieu of this film and another film coming out for Canon called 50/50, a comedy with Bob Hayes, and some other things I wanted to do, and Orion and RoboCop was very good to me, and I was flattered that they offered me RoboCop 3, but it's time for me to move on.
Well, how did you know what effect... the effect I always loved in there is when the back of his head came off, and I never figured that was seamless. I mean, obviously you're not supposed to figure, but...
I got to give a plug to this guy, Rob Bottin, who designed that suit, and he also designed that incredible face, and usually prosthetics are done from the seamed in the back, and he had to build that thing straight out, and all the seams are right down the side of my face, and you cannot see anything on camera.
Oh, that's how they did it. Yeah, because I used to sit there
genius,
and think...
I think.
Rob Bodine. Yeah. Now, who's going to play it in 3? Has somebody been picked, or are they shooting it? I haven't heard.
I don't know. I know they shot it, and a young man I heard was very good did it, and for the life of me, in all deference to him, I don't know his name, but Moni Yakin, the professor of movement at Juilliard who taught me all the mime, taught him too, so I'm sure it'll be good.
Now, who do you hang out with some pretty intense guys, I understand, just from your old days in New York.
New York, yeah.
I love the thought of you and Jimmy Woods and Christopher Walken hanging out there. It's like, here they come, walking down the street. They're the reed-thin, hyper-intensive guys. That is an unholy trio man.
Yeah.
Woods, Walken, and Weller. Who's the guru of weird there, Chris?
It's a real certifiable group.
Well, Chris did the show. Chris Walken did Saturday Night Live, and it was funny when I first met him during the week. I thought, wow, this guy is really mystical, and I couldn't get a line on him. But then if you kind of listen to him, it sounds somewhat like Burroughs. During the week, you would hear these acerbic little things come out of his mouth. He seemed to be such a funny guy.
He's probably maybe one of the 2 or 3 funniest guys I've ever known. He's very, very funny and very sort of subterranean about it. You know, you really don't know what he's saying for about 5 minutes. Guy's a stand-up comic.
Then it ties together. Yeah. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on. It's nice to meet you, Peter. Thank you. We'll be right back with actress Jennifer Tilly after this.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you.
Welcome back. I gotta get a light-colored suit, Kenny. Tomorrow night, let me wear something light. I feel like a maitre d' out here, for God's sake. I'm wearing black every night. Tomorrow night, my guests will be Elliot Gould, musician Mark Cohn, and Ed O'Neill, that wacky Al Bundy character. I love him. I love Ed. That's a funny marriage. Okay. You know, Mike Tyson's conviction in Indianapolis courtroom means big changes in the life of the former heavyweight. Let's look at a page from Mike's daily Filofax. All right, 9 o'clock, get change of address cards from the post office. 10 o'clock, jab. 11 o'clock, call Willie Kennedy Smith for Roy Black's phone number. Noon, jab. 12:30, pack Dianetics tapes. 3 o'clock, practice show tunes for prison cell block variety show. 7 o'clock, demand vertical stripes on prison garb, avoiding horizontal, which gives appearance of pudginess. 7:30, jab. 8 o'clock, ask warden if I can have Don King's old cell. And 9 o'clock, just like Buster Douglas fight, lights out. That's a page from Mike Tyson's. Page from Mike Tyson's Filofax. My next guest has appeared in over 15 films, including the fabulous Baker Boys, in which he played Beau Bridges. And you will see her in 2 new films, Sorcerers and The Shadow of the Wolf, with Lou Diamond Phillips. Please welcome very talented young actress Jennifer Tilly, folks.
And Shadow of the Wolf?
Yeah, what's it called?
Scorchers.
Oh.
And Shadow of the Wolf.
Scorchers.
Yes, Shadow of the
I'm
Wolf.
sorry I misled everybody out there. I saw there was a big disappointment when I said Sorcerers because everybody said, I had heard she was doing Scorchers. Beautiful dress. I haven't seen a little black dress like that since, I guess it was the Incredible Michu's funeral. And... Tease. Hey,
I don't even know who the Incredible Michu is. Where's my water? They said there'd be water here for me.
Well, don't misinterpret that cup. What is this? What is this earthling utensil you call cup? See, you were off on your bitch, and it was right there.
I was off on my what? My bitch?
Yeah. Where's my glass of water?
I like the words you say on this show. You say bitch. The other night you said penis.
Did I use them in the same sentence?
You'd be Mike Tyson if you did.
I don't even know how you whipped that frenzy up. I don't know what that meant. I actually met you years ago.
Yes, you did.
We flew in to do...
Yes, we did. See, I know what he's going to say. I had a dream about you last night. See, it's very traumatic for me to go on talk shows because, I don't know, you could just say anything and then nobody talks to you for months and months after that. But my dream was, we were sitting here, just you and me. You were sitting at this desk. I was sitting at this chair thing, this thing that earthlings call a chair. And I looked over at your notes, and you know what your notes were? These are the notes. He has all these questions here. He's not just like somebody that, thinks of questions on his own. He has questions, but it's true that we met a long time ago. And,
some people have to research a little.
I don't want to give you a hard time.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're not.
Because they said backstage when people give you a hard time, you don't like it.
No. Okay. When you lean in on that like that, the word hard is the last thing on my mind.
He said, Dennis Miller is a happily married man with 2 kids. He said that apropos of nothing.
Well, I have 1 kid.
Oh.
But agents always jack up the price. They always try to make the numbers bigger. Now, tell them where... Oh,
no,
dream.
Because I had this terrible fear that I wouldn't be able to think of anything to say. And I thought in my dream, well, Dennis has...
This wasn't a dream, it was a prophecy.
thing yet.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, so in my dream, see, this isn't even on the script, but I thought it would be so much more interesting. But I was wrong, wasn't I?
No, we're hanging on your every word.
Okay.
We want to break this dream down like Queequeg.
Okay, this is a really short dream. Like what?
Queequeg. He was the actor who played Harry and Harry and the Hendersons. So the dream.
Anyway,
So
for
I'm sitting
TV
here.
shows, I feel like you're Julia Roberts and I'm like Robin Williams and we're on different sound stages.
Yeah, well, I feel like Julia Roberts.
No, like...
In this case, I'm hosting with the enemy. Now,
Am I giving you...
No. It's easy. You get to the crux of this... Now, was the microphone in the dream?
Okay.
There was a microphone and a train eating a hot dog.
No, this is a really simple dream. So I looked over your questions and there weren't questions.
What were they?
It was stuff like, you don't say. Very interesting.
Well, actually, you know, we found a card. We're on the lot as other shows, and we found a card in the garbage can here one day from Love Connection.
Yes.
And it said, "Hi, I'm Chuck Woolery." We saved it. We have it in our office. That's my favorite cue card of all time, you know.
Hi, I'm Chuck Woolery.
No.
What if the guest read it by mistake? That would cause mass confusion.
Yeah. God knows it's tough for a show to function with that going on.
Stampedes for the exit.
Now tell them where
What?
we met the first time, actually, because they don't know. We met
We
auditioning
met on
for Saturday Night Live.
He was auditioning and I was auditioning. And Dennis was really, really nervous.
Yeah, I was scared out of my tree, weren't you?
Yeah. No, I wasn't, because I was young. I was, as yet, untouched by failure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was just like really positive that I was going to get it, and I wasn't nervous at all, but we were really, a whole bunch of us flew out to Los Angeles all together on the plane.
No, we flew to New
Not
York.
first class. What?
We flew to New York.
Okay.
It's okay, you were just upside down. We flew back to New York, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
We flew to New York, we flew from Los Angeles, and Dennis was really nervous because he said, I don't do sketches. And that's what he's saying all the way there. But I don't know why they would want me. I don't do characters. I don't do sketches. And somebody had told him, no, Lauren just wants you for Weekend Update because you do it really, really, really well.
Yeah, well, I was a god-awful actor, and I was afraid they might get me out there and
And
say,
they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they made you act a little, and boy, you don't want to see these tapes, man. It's like that Bob Crane video from Phoenix. We'll be right back with more Jennifer Tilly after this. Now, during the break, you were doing a little interpretive dance thing. Is that to relieve stress, or?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis said during the commercial, he said accusingly, what do you want to talk about? Well, what do you want to talk about? I got all nervous and just nervous. He didn't say it accusingly. He said it really nicely, like, let me help her out here. What would you like to talk about?
Well, you seemed a little tense, and
I was very tense. You know, I haven't done a talk show for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You're so lucky.
Yeah. Well. So was I?
You know, I haven't done a talk show for a year and a half because I did all these movies and they all got backed up. You know, like when things get stuck in the pipes, and it's going to come out eventually, but it's just like all globbed in there. So I did 4 movies and an episode of Dream On in the interim.
Mm-hmm.
The Dream On is going to be on the air.
All right. Well.
Nobody's seen these movies, but this is another reason why I'm not doing talk shows, because I'm trying to change my image. Because people see me on talk shows and they say, that's Jennifer Tilly. Boy, is she weird. We're not going to hire her. Ha ha, she's funny, but we don't want her on our set. She's funny from a distance, you know.
You make Victoria look like Meryl Streep to me.
I know Victoria. She always gets parts I'm up for.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get parts she's up for.
Well, you like negative
We're sort of
exposures of each other.
There you go. She's blonde, I'm brunette.
Now, did the little
What?
the little girl who played the receptionist on Twin Peaks, do you bang up against her?
No, I never do, because now I'm changing my image. So all the parts that I've done recently have been very, very dramatic.
Little Robbie.
Can I say them? Can I do like a little encyclopedia of my movies that are going to be coming out sometime in the near future?
Go ahead.
Okay. The first movie I did is called Scorchers. It's with Faye Dunaway and James Earl Jones. Wow, that's impressive.
Scorchers?
It's called Scorchers.
What
not
did I call it?
Sorcerers.
What
You
did I
called
call
it Sorcerers.
Wow.
So it sounds like one of those cheap exploitational sci-fi fantasy things that come on at 3 in the morning. Scorchers is a very moving character study of a woman, that's me, and several other women too, because I'm not the star, I'm just one of the stars. A woman who's sort of mousy and her husband won't sleep with her. I thought I'd put that in because people think I get parts off of my fabulous looks. No, this woman, she's very mousy and she has lots of emotional problems and she has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's Scorchers. That sounds different, doesn't it? You've never seen me do that before, have you?
It's a whole different you.
Have you seen me do anything before?
What did I see you on? I saw you in the horse race movie with the guy from Jaws.
Yes, I was in it. I was in that. Yeah, I was in that.
And I think I saw you in Sophie's Choice.
I was in Sophie's Choice. They cut me out. I was in the Doors. I was cut out of the Doors.
And you don't tell me you were the knob. No, I'm kidding.
Use up those extra 4 minutes by yourself, Dennis Miller. I'm leaving.
All right.
No, see, that's for my dramatic. No, because I noticed you had all these guests on, and they were all talking about how they were cut out of JFK, and they all were sort of, esteemed persons in the film industry, like John Larroquette was cut out of JFK, Lolita Davidovich, she was in it, but they didn't say she was in it. So I, too, was cut out of an Oliver Stone movie. Want to hear the scene that was cut out?
Love to.
Okay. So, me and Val were lying in bed, and I have all my clothes on because, I'm a respectable actress. And there's this other girl, she's really naked, because God forbid there be a scene without a naked person in it. And I say to the naked person, because she's not a very good actress, why don't you go take a shower or something? She goes, oh, okay. She goes and takes a shower. And then me and Val had this conversation, an incredibly dramatic conversation. And Meg Ryan starts banging on the door going, are you in there? Are you in there? Oh, want to hear what Val says at the beginning of the scene?
Sure.
He says it's very deep. He's crying, and I go, Val, and I say,
should have
Jim.
called him Jim. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they cut it out.
That's why I was crying.
He was crying. He's crying and crying, and I say, Jim, why are you crying? He says, I always cry when it's so close to death, don't you think? And they go, oh, yeah, sure, I guess so. So that scene's out of the movie.
Yeah, well, Morrison died 1,000 deaths then. Listen, we gotta go. We have another guest on. But geez, you're the easiest.
Wait, I have to see my other movies. No, never mind. But I have many, many, many movies coming up.
Okay.
Watch for them. All right.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer, you're easy. Jennifer Tilly, folks. We'll be right back with Mary Ellen Mark after this.
If you're going to be in Los Angeles and would like to attend a taping of The Dennis Miller Show, please drop us a note. Care of The Dennis Miller Show, Post Office Box 8160, Universal City, California 91608, or call us at 818-506-0043.
Jennifer Tilly. What a wild dame, huh? Boy, it's just like you say hello, and then it's 10 minutes of cleavage on Benzedrine. Wow. I feel violated. From the ridiculous to the sublime, my next guest is one of the great American photojournalists. Her new book is Right here. Get a picture of that. This is, oh, it's Jennifer. It's, I kid, okay. Pro Tilly contingent. Her new book is Mary Ellen Mark, 25 Years. Please welcome Mary Ellen Mark, folks.
That's such a hard act to follow, though.
Yeah.
She was great.
Well, it's stream of consciousness.
Yeah,
so.
Amazing.
Now, with the work you do, you don't have to worry about ever following anybody. I looked through the book last night and today, and I was, I was like alternatingly in love with the photos, scared by some. Some of the photos are almost repugnant in their beauty. You seem to deal a lot with the disenfranchised of the world, and I was wondering, is that what interests you more?
Well, it is what interests me. It really is, and I wanted every photograph in the book to be a strong picture. So I looked through lots and lots of pictures that I'd taken over a long time, and I just tried to be relentless in my choice of what I picked for the book.
I hope you didn't misinterpret what I said there. I found the book very affecting. It's just some
I wanted
of it was
to be affecting.
The human condition in that base of form is so brutal sometimes to look at.
It is, but I think it's really important to look at it.
Yeah, it is. And I think rather than gabbing at you here, let's put some of your pictures up and talk about the specifics. I guess this first batch we could refer to these as people who are unfamous, very unfamous people. This is a woman in a mental ward, right?
That's Mary Frances. That was done in 1975. And I worked in Oregon State Hospital and made photographs. I worked on Cuckoo's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
And I met the director of the hospital, and he let me come back and live in the ward. And I spent about 6 weeks in the ward photographing, and it was an amazing experience.
Now, at some point, somebody who's incarcerated like that, do you feel you're violating them at all, or do they even know that they're...
People always ask that question about... I think all photography, in a sense, is a violation, and people are giving you a part of their soul. But I think photographs also give you a certain kind of immortality, and I guess I would rather give that immortality to people that normally wouldn't have it.
Yes.
So...
let's look at the next one here. We have... this is my... Oh, I thought this was the...
family.
Yeah.
I spent a week with them. They were living in a car, and...
Sadly enough, more often than not, in American Gothic, in the times we live in. The next picture we have is, I hope we didn't miss the drug suspect. That's my favorite. Did we clip by that? Can we go back to that? I think, how did we miss that? It's the best picture in the book. Can we cue that up, or? Damn.
Well, I know the photograph that you're talking about. It was done in
Well, if we can
South
get back
Dallas.
to it, let's
Okay,
go
great.
on to the couple in Harlan County then. Oh, there's the drug suspect. Thank you. Guys in the booth keeping me nimble.
Actually, I was working on a story for Texas Monthly, and in South Dallas, and I was driving around with the police, and she was out on the street, and that's how I took that photograph.
Is there more vivid depiction ever of human anguish than that picture? God, it's just like, and look how life goes on in the background. That's the fascinating part of it. That they're all just going about their business. These human is in such pain. Next, we have the couple in Harlan County, I guess.
That was done in the early 70s. They just came down from the mountains, and I started to photograph him, and his wife just sort of stepped in the frame. And
right into the line of the gun? Oh, God. Whoa, there's a mystery date there, huh? And next we have, this is a cute one, because I thought some of them were heavy. Can we get a little closer on that? Aww. The little baby on the left looks like Nixon.
Chucky, too, some years later.
All right, next we have, this kid kills me.
That's Amanda. Actually, that was a story that was done for Life that never ran on problem kids. And I knew that when she came home from school, she always ran and had a smoke. So I kind of followed her, and then...
She looks like Tatum O'Neal in the Bad News Bears. Do you remember that? She always had the smoke. Her name was Amanda, too.
Amanda. She was really bright, wonderful kid.
Next we have... Halloween Boy. Look at this little Count Dracula. Is that the cutest thing you've ever... Or cute but macabre. Where was that one taken?
That was in Texas. I was actually... Sometimes I work on movies, and I was working on Silkwood, and it was during Halloween, and he happened to walk by. So I just ran off the set and took his picture.
Next.
That was in Newark. It was a dance class.
Look how dignified the kid on the right is. I love that with his feet crossed. And then you also take pictures. You don't always deal with the unfamous. We have photo essays, but with the famous people, I would imagine they're a little harder, a little more protected.
More difficult, especially now. I mean, I used to photograph on movies a lot and used to have incredible access to actors and directors and whatever, but times have changed a lot. And
a lot of publicists between you and the goal,
Too many publicists between you and the goal, and you don't get those amazing photographs. You can't when there are that many people around.
Couple in the book, though. I love this. This is a famous shot of...
Oh, it's Mother Teresa?
Now, she's easy to shoot because she has all good sides, I would imagine, huh?
She wasn't that easy to get access to,
No?
actually. No.
She has people?
No, she wasn't.
Mother Teresa has people?
No.
Oh, I thought she was like
Now she
CAA
might, but
or something, you know.
she's not. But,
and then we have, I love this picture. Now, that's a famous shot of Fellini, right?
That was done in the late 60s. I worked on the Satyricon, and I just followed him around and took that photograph. It was an amazing set to work on.
Yeah, when we were kids, we used to get loaded and go see Satyricon at the all-night movie house, hermaphrodites.
Still a great film.
Yeah, it is out there. And Brando with
he was amazing.
X Marks the Spot.
Man.
Yeah. Have you seen Hearts of Darkness?
Yeah, I loved it. It's a great film.
Yeah,
it really
Coppola is pretty open about showing his
and you see,
weak
that's
side.
Great. He doesn't mind. And for me, he's a hero because he does that. He comes out a much stronger guy because he lets you see the weak side of him, too.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful film.
I thought it was interesting in that film when he would be reflected through his wife's eyes. You could see how she loved the artist in him, how titillating that must be for the woman.
It's a great documentary.
Yeah.
I loved it. And it was a wonderful film to work on. It was a great experience.
We have time for a couple quick more. I want to get you through here. So these are from circuses, right? Over
in India.
In India. This is the animal trainer with bear.
It's the embarrassed bear.
Yeah. Look at the hippo's mouth. I love that shot.
Well, that was the only thing the hippo could do was to open his mouth.
Yeah. You just want to take one of those dentist hose and hook it in there, huh? And
he was pretty dangerous. I was scared when I photographed him.
And
these are twins.
The twins. Wow. That is the circus life there. Well, I love the pictures. I find them startling. And thanks for coming on, Mary Ellen. Nice to meet you. Mary Ellen Mark, folks. We'll be right back after this. Thank you.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Drixoral, the 12-hour prescription strength cold medicine. Drixoral.
Well, the book once again, and I don't usually like to hawk things that much, but it is truly a brilliant book. It's Mary Ellen Mark, 25 years of great photos. This woman has a stranglehold on this wacky game we call life. I'd also like to thank my other guests, Peter Weller and Jennifer Tilley. She was a delight. I hope it wasn't that chilly with her. Good night, teenagers.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.